Okay, let's start today's session. Today's session is going to be very, very, very important. If you understand what I'm going to speak today, then you can change yourself from depression to what? Opposite of depression.
Motivation.
Happy.
Happy person.
Yes, sir.
Happy.
Peace.
Peaceful.
Okay, good. So if you are
Hopeful.
depressed, then you can change yourself from this. Or else, if you are somebody every time having lack of motivation, feeling yourself that you're unlucky, whatever it could be, negative thinker to positive thinker, pessimistic to optimistic, and at the same time, whatever the mental health issues you're suffering with, anxiety, depression, what else?
Overthinking.
Overthinking.
Just
Mind
anger.
stress.
Fear.
Mhm.
Negative thought.
Oh,
Comparing with others, sir.
The laziness.
Self-doubt.
Negative
Sadness.
thoughts.
great.
Anxiety,
Okay, then.
sir.
Super. I will be asking the questions during the class, so make sure everyone, whenever I ask something, unmute yourself and immediately mute yourself. If I come across that you are disturbing the class, last time I removed two members in the past. Okay, in the same way, not from the class, completely from English therapy itself, I will remove you because you should be mindful of whether you are muting yourself or unmuting. And also, if you have a lot of background noise, then don't unmute yourself. And those of you are traveling, I will be getting to know based on your responses. And if I come across that you are disturbing the class, then I can see your name on my screen so that I will take the action. Okay. And don't leave the class because there are a lot of people are pinging me that, sir, I'm not able to join. I'm not able to join because the Zoom count strength, the limit is only 100. So you got the chance because you joined early. Okay. That's the main reason. But going forward, the rules are going to change. So this time I just selected you based on your early joining. But going forward, based on certain assignments, I'll be taking you. Don't misuse the chance as you already got the chance to attend the live session. These kind of sessions mostly take by a psychologist. If you go to counseling, they will take these kind of sessions. And these sessions, they will take one-on-one. And for one person, they will charge around 5,000 to 10,000 per just 30 minutes counseling only. So as you all joined here for 1.5 hour session and live, and it's not one-on-one, but my every word is going to touch your mind and heart. So that's how the session is designed. Okay, let me share my screen. Just a minute. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
Sir.
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 Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
now let's start today's session. Okay,
Okay, sir.
1 minute. Mm. So, what is mental health? What is
Feeling
mental?
stress.
Our thinking.
What is
Yes.
physical health?
It related
Emo
to
Is related to body.
it related to muscles.
Body activities.
It is
Fitness.
appear. Body
So,
activity.
physical health is nothing but your muscle, your entire personality is fit. Then you can consider it as a physical health. And you're fit, especially you're strong, then that you can consider as a physically strong. But when it comes to mental health, so mental health have a different understanding. Already, you know, a lot of times my mental health is not good. Sometimes you might have used this word and take care of your mental health as well as physical health like that. So that's what we are going to see today. Mental health. What is mental health? Not complete session. Just I want to take you step by step into our presentation. And the title of the presentation I will reveal in the middle of the session. But for now, let me take you from the basics so that you will understand completely what I'm going to explain. So mental health refers to your emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So how well you are emotionally stronger. So if something happens, how well you are aware of your emotions and how good you are about your psychologically, like how your thoughts and feelings and emotions works, and socially, like how well you are able to bond with others, like based on your bondings. So in general, we can say mental health is nothing but how we think, how we feel, how we behave, and how we handle our stress, and how we build our relationships. At the same time, based on all these things, how we make our decisions. So mental health refers to based on thinking, feeling, behaving, and ability to handle the stress, and ability to build the relationship with the people and surroundings, and at the same time how we make our decisions. So based on these things, our mental health contributes. And a lot of times people say that you should be mentally strong means you should be good at thinking, feeling, behaving, and handling the stress and building the relationships and taking the decisions. So this is what mental health is all about. And a lot of times people think that by looking at the physical strength, they may feel like mental strength, but it may or may not be, relevant or connected. Sometimes some people may physically weak but mentally strong. Sometimes people are mentally strong but physically weak. But people like me both mentally and physically strong. Okay. So you can also have that kind of personality where you can have both physical and mental health proper, so that you can lead your life in a better way. You got it. Mental health means this is all the components will be involved. And coming to mental health, there are a lot of times people have, instead of they knowing the mental health, they know the mental health issues more than mental health. So they have lot of times so many problems with mental health. And so many times people also told me, sir, I am suffering with this all mental health issues. And some people call me when they are trying to take the admission and they'll say that I'm suffering with these mental health issues. Do you have a solution for my problem in your class? So what are all the common mental health issues? As I already asked and you already answered. So let me reveal one by one. Basic only. I have not taken complete list. There is a lot of list, but I have taken major mental health issues which you might be suffering with. Okay. The first and foremost is depression, the most common mental health issue and the most frequently used word in the world. And in the class also, a lot of times I am depressed. Those who don't know the spelling of depression also, they use depression word. That's very sad nowadays. And even first class, second class kid also knowing what is, like they just always using depression word and they don't even know what does it mean, but still it became a fancy word nowadays because everybody is using around them. They also started using it. So I will tell you what is depression also going forward. Anxiety disorder, like anxiety disorder means excessive worry. Okay, you are worrying about, you are getting so much fear. When I ask you to speak in front of 100 members, you get so much fear inside. Or you're too much worried about tomorrow's interview, presentation, anything performance related. You're so much anxious means thinking about something overly without, putting efforts. You are just only thinking and suffering. So that is called as anxiety disorder. How many have you have this disorder, anxiety disorder? Mhm. A lot of people have. Okay, great. So next mental health issue is stress and burnout. Stress and burnout means like feeling exhausted and constant stress. Every time you are feeling something, burnout. Okay, so how many of you go through stress day to day? Okay, for simple reasons. People go through stress. And stress also one more frequently used word. And every time people tell to others don't take stress, but they take a lot of stress. Okay. And the last fourth one is obsessive compulsive disorder. What is the short form of this?
OCD.
OCD.
CD.
OCD.
Any CD
OCD.
candidates are there in this class? Okay, good. We have a lot of, for every word, we have a lot of examples, real time example people. Okay. OCD means something doing repeatedly. Okay. So like people will clean every time hands and they will every time clean the house and they are like completely, even smallest thing also they will not leave. They always think of everything should be perfect. Even small scratch on the floor also they will clean entire floor again. And even small a bubble on the vessel means they'll clean the entire vessel, something like that. They are always too much concerned about cleanliness, and that over cleanliness, not cleanliness, that it's not necessary, but still they ended up doing too much. Thinking also, like they think too much about something and they do overdoing, like every time whatever they are doing. So repeatedly, whatever the repetitive thoughts they have frequently, it's not about only doing actions, even in terms of thinking also. Some people have OCD in thinking, like they will think constantly about same thing again and again. In the same way, when it comes to doing the works also, they do too much, more than required. So that also comes under OCD. So I hope a lot of people have, and nowadays I'm seeing so many OCD candidates. Not seeing, but I'm getting to know that they are having OCD. And I am the person, it's okay. Even half of the things are not clean, also I'm perfectly fine with whatever I am doing. Okay. So I don't get distracted, deviated by something uncleanliness around me, but I try to be clean. Sometimes surroundings, if they are not clean, also it's okay. I'll focus on my work. Okay, but these OCD candidates cannot focus. When something is not good around them, they will just go and make it straight. If it is something folded, they want it to be straight. So something like that, they always have that particular problem.
Sir,
And
this sir, can I speak?
no, no, now no one is allowed to speak till the end of the presentation. Okay, whenever I ask one word, two word answers, you should answer. Okay. The next one is post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, post-traumatic stress disorder means whatever some incidents happens in our life, like you met with an accident or some, maybe you might have lost your loved one or something happens. Any incident which causes you trauma. Trauma means something very too much sad feeling, like you almost suffered and cried for 1 week, 10 days, 5 days, 2 days, something like that. And you had like heartbreak with something, or you had some fear because of some incident, that is called trauma. Post traumatic means after the incident, people always recall that incident again and again and again, and then they suffer with that particular problem. They overthink about something, incident, whatever happened in the past, and they suffer again in the present about something which already happened in the past itself. So that is called a post-traumatic stress disorder, and it is also one most commonly, no, faced problem. Like a lot of people face this kind of problem. So these are all the most common mental health issues, and you can name it all the other mental health issues also. But now we are going to focus not only this, like I am going to give the solution for all the problems, but primarily our main superhero, like a lot of times we use this word called depression. Okay, so depression is one of the most suffered problem in the world by the humans. Okay, so there are a lot of times we have different illnesses, but the most suffered illness is depression in the world. And because of the depression, every year countless people, thousands of people are dying and committing suicide. The moment when you are depressed too much, then the ultimate is going to be your suicide thoughts. Okay, so mostly people who are in the depression, they will commit suicide because for them depression means no hope in their life. They don't feel any hope in their life, and they feel like that's the end of the life, and they simply feel life is no pleasurable for them, like they don't see any happiness or pleasurable in the life, and they just simply commit suicide and end their life. Or else they always harm themselves or harm others, and they always try to stay alone in the home. It is the most you know uh, problem nowadays. Like a lot of people are suffering with, there is no age also. Previously people used to feel like those who are married, and after 30s 40s people used to suffer with this depression. But nowadays even first class second class kid also is suffering with this depression. They think that it's depression, and then they learn from their parents the word called depression, from the teachers also. And then even if they fail in one exam also, they go through depression. And even something happens, even if their friend don't talk to them also, they go through depression. So like that nowadays it is commonly uh, suffered problem, depression is. And there are a lot of countless drugs have invented to cure the disease, depression. Okay, there are a lot of scientists have invested so much time to cure the depression by taking the pills. So they have invented different medicine for this, and then they started giving that depression pills to the people. And what depression will do means, generally why people take depression means, why the people go through depression also. Sometimes in your body we have different brain neurotransmitters are there. Brain neurotransmitters, like nothing but think of, you have an engine. Okay, you have engine, So engine have engine oil and petrol, something we'll keep inside it, and then we make our engine works. In the same way, neurotransmitters, nothing but your brain is also like an engine. And in the brain, we need some chemicals, we need some fuels. And that fuels, we call them as a neurotransmitters. They transmit some information and they take care of certain functionality in our brain and body. So we have some neurochemical transmitters are like serotonin, okay, oxytocin, and dopamine. Like that, we have different kind of neurotransmitters. So when your serotonin levels are low, when your dopamine levels are low, then you mostly feel like a lot of depression. Like they have tested depressed people and they found out that in their brain they have very less serotonin levels and dopamine levels. So what these people do, they will give the drugs to artificially increase those levels, serotonin and uh, oxytocin and dopamine. Okay, so these are the chemicals they try to refill artificially, but that will not have a long-term impact. At the same time, you will have a lot of long-term negative consequences by taking the pills. So that's why depression, most of the time people, because curing your depression by taking the pills is a shortcut. And we all know, right? Everybody wants shortcuts than the long process. And a lot of times with the shortcuts, we also have negative consequences. So that's why we should understand what exactly happens and what is the alternate for that. Okay. So they found out that actually they have conducted one particular test, and I'll reveal about that test. And what also people have done, the people, some of the scientists started working on inventing the drug for the depression. They have invented so many drugs. But on the other hand, there are some more scientists and doctors have invented some alternate for the drugs. Okay. So because drugs are having negative impact, long-term negative impact and negative consequences. So instead of that, what they did, they have found out one revolutionary treatment for the depression, not only for the depression, for all your mental health issues. I am going to reveal that topic now. The actual topic starts now. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Is sleeping?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Okay, good, good. So that revolutionary treatment is, anybody knows?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Meditation.
Meditation and positive affirmation.
What is our class name?
Music.
Therapy.
Psychologist sessions.
Therapy.
Therapy.
Yes, sir.
Therapy.
Therapy.
Okay. What therapy?
Sir, there
English
are so many techniques
psychological.
for revolutionary techniques for eliminate depression, sir. Reduce depression. First is there is a technique which is called CBT, Cognitive Behavior Therapy, sir, in which the person having cognitive distortions, negative cognitive distortions, the having irrational thoughts in this therapy, there is
Great. Thank you. You're revealing entire topic. Okay. Fine. So now the revolutionary treatment is cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay, we call it as a CBT. So CBT nothing but cognitive behavioral therapy. I am going to explain what this therapy is about and how we can use it in our life to cure our mental health issues and how it is going to help us in saving our lives in terms of mental health issues. Okay, so the first and foremost, and I'm going to talk about today only about cognitive behavioral therapy. And going forward, we will also have different therapies, RBT, and so many different therapies also there. Okay, the first and foremost therapy is cognitive behavioral therapy. And how many of you watched that cognitive distortion video? In that I mentioned cognitive means what?
Wrong.
Error.
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 Cognitive means,
Thoughts.
Thoughts.
yes. So cognitive means thoughts. Okay. So behavior means your action, whatever
Action.
you do and behave in a way that is behavioral. And therapy is nothing but therapy is like a treatment given to certain problems without giving any drug. Okay, therapy is nothing but a certain special treatment is given to someone with different techniques without involving any chemical drugs. Okay, so that is called therapy. So that what exactly CBT means. So we are going to restructure our thoughts and behaviors without any medicine by different approach. I will tell you how we are going to have that approach. So for just basic understanding is CBT means we are going to change your thinking, and we are based on thinking, we are going to change our behavior also without having any medicine. Okay, so that is CBT. I will tell you what exactly it is, and in general, and how we can apply this CBT technique in our life, so that what kind of benefits we can get in our life. Okay, so before taking about CBT, and let me explain to you about one experiment which was conducted in Pennsylvania University. There are a lot of great scientists who invented this CBT, and also those who are obviously those who support medicine. They wanted to conduct the experiment, and they want to give the evidence to the world that how powerful this CBT technique is. Okay, so what they did, they have taken around 44 45 members into this particular test. Those are all like completely mild depressed to severely depressed people. Almost 44 members have taken, and what they did, they have divided those 44 members in randomly into two groups. And then for the first group members, they have given one-to-one CBT sessions, okay, like English therapy sessions, English therapy Saturday sessions. Whereas the second group of people, they gave drug, okay, they specially designed one drug, which is very powerful in the market and most effective drug in the market in curing the depression. So they have divided the two groups, and for the first group members, they have only conducted the CBT sessions every day. And this experiment went for almost 12 weeks. Okay, this experiment they conducted for almost 12 weeks, means almost 3 months. So after 3 months, what exactly the result they have given, I will show you now. So now the number of people who entered the treatment. Okay, the first column is the number of people who entered the treatment, and second one is patients treated with cognitive therapy, means those who are treated by the cognitive therapy, and the people who are treated by the drug, okay, one antidepressant drug. So in the first group, they have 19 members. In the second group, 25 members. So it's not equally divided, but they have divided 19 into 25, 99, 25. So first and foremost category is number of people who recovered completely. Out of 19 people, 15 people completely cured with the cognitive behavioral therapy. And in the second category, people who taken the drug, out of 25, only 5 members were able to cure completely. Okay. And the second category is number of people who considerably improved, but still experience some sort of depression sometimes. So there are 2 members out of 19, 7 members out of 25 in the second category, those who take the medicine. And number who are not substantially improved, a number who dropped out, means they have not improved, and some people might have dropped out. So those who are like 1 and 1 and 5 and 8. So what exactly this chart represent means, it is a study which was given, and at the end they give these results. That means you can see the column, second column, in that we have the results. Out of 19, 15 people improved, means almost it's the most effective method, right, compared to the drugs. And even the members who left also, they have very significant less members. Because why some people left, when it comes to, just think of that our class is like a CBT technique, and others class could be like other English therapy, English platforms. So what they will do, they will teach grammar. And when you join in such kind of classes, what will you do? You will only join for a few days. After that, you lose the interest, because you don't like to learn all the sentences, structures, and all. You, even after joining also, if you don't see improvement, will you continue next month? No, right? You don't continue. You will discontinue. But whereas if you are seeing improvement, then what will happen? You will put even more efforts and try to work on yourself, right? So CBT technique is like our English therapy, like where a lot of improvement will be there. And obviously those who drop out because of some reasons, we cannot improve them. And when it comes to the second category, when those who got depressed and who took the medicine as a treatment, they were not able to improve much. And also it's not about those 5 people improved. You can say that, sir, those 5 people improved. But again, what these people did, they conducted the test after 1 year again. After conducting, this is the test after 12 weeks, maybe 3 months. After 1 year, again they wanted to conduct whether these people have the changes still intact, or again they went back to their previous life like that. And they found out that those who got the cognitive behavioral therapy, their life was very much less affected by again depression. But whereas the people who belong to the second category, again they started having a mild depression sometimes, and they were suffering again. And not only the depression, they also had some of the other mental health issues also compared to depression because of this drug, whatever they had. They had long term, negative impact with the drug. So this is something we cannot say that now cognitive behavioral therapy is the most effective method to cure our mental health issues. So what exactly cognitive behavioral therapy and how we can use in our life so that we can save our mental health. So before explaining about cognitive behavioral therapy, I want you to explain little bit of neuroscience. Neuroscience means your brain science so that you will understand. So as those of you have watched the brain anatomy video from our English therapy YouTube channel, you already know. So what is prefrontal cortex and what is amygdala? So prefrontal cortex is nothing but your thinking brain. Amygdala, which is there in the center of the brain, is called emotional brain. So both brains are important, but based on the requirement and need. So amygdala is nothing but emotional brain. Think of that we have two brains, two types of brain, and one is emotional brain and another one is thinking brain. So when you are too much emotional, means every time you are getting triggered by anger, fear and all, that means you are mostly using your amygdala, means emotional brain. But whereas you are thinking and taking the action and you're not reacting immediately and you're not getting anger quickly, and every time you're analyzing the situation and taking the decisions, means you're using your forebrain. Forebrain means prefrontal cortex. Emotional brain is nothing but amygdala. We also call this a lizard brain and monkey brain. So prefrontal cortex is nothing but, I will tell you one simple, it is a parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. So what happens means when you are threatened by any particular danger, then your amygdala will completely take over the charge and it will protect you from the difficult and dangerous situations. Okay. Whereas your prefrontal cortex is something will help you to perform the cognitive abilities. Cognitive means now to speak in front of this crowd, you need prefrontal cortex. You cannot speak with amygdala. You cannot speak with amygdala. Now amygdala where we can use, suppose I am teaching you, suddenly one snake enter into my room. Then I cannot run with my prefrontal cortex by thinking whether this snake is, venomous snake or friendly snake, something like that. That kind of analysis our prefrontal cortex will do. Before you do analysis, then what will happen? Your snake will come and bite you, right? So in that time, amygdala is something is going to take quick response, like it is going to take the quick action and will save you from the situations. So obviously we are all staying in a metropolitan cities and in our 2 BHK apartments, and now we don't have any snakes which will come inside our house and will bite us. But what could be a similar experience for you? Maybe if I ask you to speak in front of this many members, then before your prefrontal cortex opens, obviously your amygdala arises, means wake up, and then immediately feels like, how can you speak in front of 100 members and it's not safe for you, and you don't want to speak. Actually, you wanted to speak, but initially, if you want to speak also, your heartbeat goes very high and you started getting sweat and you get shivering and all. So who will do all these things in the background is your amygdala. But prefrontal cortex is something, there are some people giants, and what they will do, they tell to themselves, it's a great opportunity for me to speak in front of 100 members. Let me speak at least one sentence also, two sentence also. What will happen? Nothing will happen. I'll not die. Something, that kind of thought process will processed by your prefrontal cortex. So these are all the two types generally. And if you watch brain anatomy video, you will understand completely, but I don't want to go in detail because that's not the main part. So here, remember this amygdala and prefrontal cortex. I'm going to refer to these two words in our upcoming slide. And when it comes to CBT, there is I already explained in my previous psychology sessions also, it's a human triangle. So human triangle involves thoughts, feelings, and behavior. So your thoughts will interlink with the feelings and your feelings will interlink with the behavior. So one thought can come to your mind that I want to speak in this class. It's a great opportunity for me. That could be a one thought. And you may feel little bit motivated to speak in front of all these members. And what will you do? You will take the action. It's like changing your behavior. And what will happen? You will speak in front of everyone in the class. So now you took the action in front of speaking in front of the members. And because of this behavior, again, what will happen after speaking? You feel good, right? Oh, I did very good job, and you feel very good. And immediately, what new thoughts will come? You feel differently, and then new thoughts will come. I think you can also do. You can also speak in a better way. These kind of positive thoughts will enter into your mind. So your thoughts interlink with your feelings, and your feelings are interlinked with your behavior, and these three combine to form a human triangle, and we also call it as a CBT triangle or CBT cycle. So one affects the other. And in this, what is the main element is your thought. What is the main element is your thought. So thoughts can be divided into two types. One is rational and another one is irrational. So what is rational thought means? Rational thought is nothing but a straight thinking or a proper thinking that involves fact-based, logic-based, and balancing. Okay, without too much, emotional. If you have started speaking, that is called a rational thinking. So your thinking involves facts, logics, and you are thinking in a balanced way. Then that can be considered as a rational thinking. Means good thinking. We can consider it as a good thinking. Whereas other type is irrational thinking. Irrational thinking means emotional, assumption based, exaggerated, without facts and proofs. If you started, speaking. So just I will tell you one simple example you can understand. So think of that. You've sent one text to your friend, and your friend did not watch your message. Okay. And it's been almost one day, but still he did not watch your message. Then rational thinking people will feel like maybe he must be busy, or maybe he might have network issue, or he went somewhere, or something could be the reason. That's why he did not see. That is a rational thinking. Whereas irrational thinking means you will feel like maybe he might have died or he lost his mobile, or he is ignoring me, or he don't want to continue friendship with me, or he broke up with me, something like that. So irrational means obviously he did not say that he is breaking up with you, or else he did not say that he lost his mobile, or he did not say that he died or something like that. Obviously he will not say, but you will get to know by someone. But you yourself started making up your own mind thinking. It's not, there is no proof, it is not fact at all, but you started assuming, and you started feeling emotional about that, and then you started feeling something inside. So that is called irrational. Irrational means bad thinking. Okay. Or mostly negative thinking, or factless thinking, or baseless thinking, we say, right? Sometimes people will misunderstand us without knowing the proofs and facts, and then we can consider them as they are thinking irrationally. So irrationally means no logic, no sense. Without using common sense, they think. So that is called irrational thinking. Rational thinking and irrational thinking. So now out of two brains, which brain is responsible for the rational thinking and which brain is responsible for the irrational thinking? Tell me.
Rational for prefrontal cortex, irrational for augmented.
Others.
Rational thinking means positive thoughts and
No, brain. I am talking about the previous slide. I gave two types. Prefrontal cortex and amygdala, right? So which one is responsible for what?
The rational thinking is amygdala.
Exactly. So thinking brain means rational thinking. So where prefrontal cortex involves, without any proofs and facts, we started getting overwhelmed by our own thoughts, and we thinking it as a real, then that is called irrational thinking. And that thoughts, that particular behavior taken care by the amygdala, or the monkey brain, or lizard brain, or whatever you name it, or emotional brain. So now you understood there are two types, rational thinking and irrational thinking.
Irrational thinking.
And 99% of our thoughts are irrational thoughts. Because of those 99% of irrational thoughts, we have all the 100% mental health issues. We think irrationally, and because of our irrational thinking process, we have mental health issues. Okay. Lot of mental health issues are the byproduct of your irrational thinking. So that's where all the problem comes. And now how we can cure ourselves from irrational thinking? by applying CBT technique. Okay. So the CBT technique have this basic formula. It's not exact formula, but I will be telling you what exactly CBT is. Okay. Think of that. This formula consists of a situation. Something happened in your life. Something is there, situation. And then some thoughts will come into your mind. And that thoughts triggers your emotions and behaviors, and end is going to be something like you are going to get some consequences as a result. So it's a basic understanding of CBT technique. Something happened. Because of something happened, you started having thoughts in your mind, and then you started having some emotions and behaviors and result. So simple example, the situation could be now if you are attending to the class, you are listening to my class, presentation, and some thoughts can come into your mind. Wow, it is a very good presentation. That thought came to your mind, and it's something interesting. That thought came to your mind. Immediately, what will happen? You will have different emotions and feelings, like you will get more seriousness and you will keep your 100% attention towards this class, and then automatically you will accurately and actively listen to the class. That is your behavior. And because you listened, and the end product is going to be something, you learned something from this presentation, and you also feel good about yourself for learning something new. That's a one thing. And there would be some other scenario. Maybe you're not understanding what I'm speaking in this class. That's one scenario. And some thought will come into your mind that what is speaking? I don't understand anything. What is speaking? Then immediately what will happen? The emotions and behaviors, like you don't get interest because you're not understanding. And immediately you feel like this class is something not suitable for me, and this class is not completely, I'm getting. And with that behavior, what will you do? Like you may leave the class by saying you have internet issue or something like that. The result is you're going to miss some amazing presentation. So that could be okay. So that is what CBT formula, but it varies from person to person, and how we should use CBT technique in our life to change our mental health problems, I will tell you in upcoming slide. Okay. So now take the formula: situation, thought, emotion, and behavior, and then end. So first take the one scenario, as I already explained, but we are going to take our relatable example: public speaking. So situation, there is a need. Tomorrow you have to give the speech on the stage. Then one thought came to your mind that I will fail. Maybe I will embarrass myself. Like in front of everybody, I may fail. That thought came to your mind. That triggered your emotion. That emotion could be your fear. So immediately you started getting fear inside. And what will happen because of the fear which you already have inside of you about tomorrow's speech? The best way is avoid speaking itself. And best example is giving the presentation. Every time people, always follow this approach only. They give their name on particular day to give the presentation, and then they feel like, I think I will not be able to give the presentation. That thought will come to their mind, and just one day before they will get fever, and they'll get some, different invitations from different people, and they will tell me easily some reason, and they'll avoid giving the presentation. Result: no confidence or no improvement. And they will again come to me and say after 1 month, 2 months, sir, I am still having fear inside me, and still I am failing in interviews. So please tell me what I should do. And I simply say that join, attend daily classes, and follow my instructions daily. Then you will improve, and that will change your confidence. So the same situation, need to speak on stage, and suddenly one thought came to my mind: okay, I will learn something new if I give a presentation or if I speak on the stage, and it is going to become a good experience for me. And that thought, immediately what will happen? Courage will build up inside you, and you will try. And then once you try, you will learn something out of your experience. So these are all the changes will be there. So cognitive behavioral therapy means changing this one thought. Just think between two things, what is the main root cause? Thought itself. One thought change the course of action. One thought change your emotion, behavior, and complete result also. So if we can change the thought, if we can replace the thought itself, then we can change our life and our outcome also, right? Are you getting? If we can modify our thought, then we can change our behavior, and we can change our emotions. We can also change our end product or output also. So that is where we have to focus. And that's why I gave the presentation called 10 cognitive distortions. So 10 cognitive distortions means 10 thinking errors, which we all do knowingly or unknowingly, and then we suffer the most. For the people who are doing cognitive distortion, those who are having cognitive distortions, they don't have the maturity to understand that they are having faulty thinking. Cognitive distortion means thinking in a wrong way, or faulty thinking, or thinking with errors, or wrong thinking. Okay, so we have 10 different types of wrong thinkings I explained in that presentation. If you watch, then you will completely get the idea. And once you understand what kind of thinking, negative thinkings you are having, then if you can correct them, then you can easily change your output and the end product. So now let me give you the clarity of what and where we can use this technique and how much it is important for everyone's life to change that thought, and how we can identify that I will tell you now. So there is a one beautiful method called triple column technique. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, triple column technique. So triple column technique means table, right? Table have 3 columns. So 1, 2, 3. So that is called triple column. And what exactly this triple column technique is going to do for us, and how we can apply this triple column technique. It is like a part of CBT technique only. Okay, it's nothing but this particular technique is under CBT only, and how we can use this technique to change our life. So just take first column, and that is irrational thoughts. Irrational thoughts means wrong thoughts which are not having any facts or proofs, which have commonly in our day-to-day life. So 90% of our thoughts, what we have, negative thoughts, and out of 90% of the thoughts, around 70 to 80% of the thoughts are irrational thoughts. Irrational means no proof, no logic, nothing, just they will come and will go. Okay. And second column is cognitive distortion, means your thinking error. And then last one is a rational response. So what we are going to do with these 3 columns, I will tell you now. Let's take one example so that you will understand. Irrational thought means there is no proof, fact, nothing. That is, no one likes me. Recently, I think in 11 a.m. batch, I asked something, and then one lady told me, one housewife told me, sir, no one likes me because I don't have good physical appearance, and because of that, no one likes me. That was something one of the housewife told in the 11 a.m. batch. I was shocked literally that how wrong it is. She's having her kids. Definitely, there must be her kids loving her, maybe her parents loving her, and maybe her husband will love her friends. There could be a lot of people likes her or maybe loves her. But he directly said that no one likes me because I don't have good appearance. So that is something irrational thought. Obviously, no proof, no fact, but still she had. And this is the thinking called overgeneralization. Overgeneralization means if suppose out of 10 members, only one person said, I don't like you, then she started saying all the 10 members don't like me. That means overgeneralization. Overgeneralization is a one cognitive distortion out of 10 cognitive distortions. And she started treating if one thing is wrong out of 10, and she started taking all 10 are wrong. So that is overgeneralization. But obviously, automatic response, like instead of automatic response, rational response means by using your prefrontal cortex, you can answer to that particular thought. Whenever this thought comes to your mind, suppose no one likes me, if that thought comes to your mind, what you should do? Every time distance yourself from the thought. Remember this. Okay. Just your thoughts are running in your mind. And what you should do whenever one thought comes to your mind, distance yourself from that thought and now become an observer. And then look at your thought. The thought came to your mind that no one likes me. Then now distance yourself and look at that thought and now identify which error it is, which distortion it is. And if you watch the 10 cognitive distortions video, this particular error is cognitive distortion error is overgeneralization. So now you identified what type of error it is. Second is, what is the alternate for it? Is it really true? No, right? Definitely nonsense. There are a lot of people likes me. Obviously, how can I say that your amygdala triggered this thought, no one likes me? Then if you distance yourself, your prefrontal cortex comes into the picture and will analyze from our Saturday presentation. Okay, I know 10 cognitive distortion. Out of 10 cognitive distortion, this is this error, overgeneralization error. Now, what is the alternate to it? What is the logic based? And now if you observe from your life, obviously there are some people will be there, no matter who you are, some group of people will like you. And now you can replace that. So that's how triple column technique works. You got it. So we'll observe some more examples which are very relatable to us. Everybody after joining in English therapy have these particular errors, and we'll see what they are. And now I'm giving you some more examples so that you can relate with this practice you can do on your own in any particular field. Okay, not only English therapy related things. You can apply this triple column technique in your life to change your thinking in different areas of your life. Some people will say that I am a failure. Okay, I'm a failure. So it is, what kind of cognitive distortion it is out of 10?
It's a labeling. Labeling.
Self-labeling.
Exactly. It's a labeling. So you are saying yourself you are a failure. You are saying you are a lazy. You are labeling yourself. You are saying you are an idiot. You are saying you are a dull. You don't know anything, something like that. You yourself giving some name to you, that you are labeling yourself. So that is a error, cognitive distortion. Okay, thinking error. So for that, you can mention that it could be up to you. Like, I only failed. Maybe you are saying because you are a failure, maybe you failed in exam, or you failed in interview, or you failed in relationship. It could be anything. So, but you should mention where you failed and be specific about. I only failed in this interview, but I'm not a failure. I just failed in this one interview, but I'm not a failure. So that's how you can replace your automatic or irrational thoughts with rational thoughts, or not positive but logical thoughts. Remember, rational thinking is not positive thinking but actual thinking, a realistic thinking. Whereas irrational thoughts is nothing but no fact based thinking, or illogical thinking, or no sense thinking. Rational response is nothing but common sense thinking. If you use basic common sense, you can think in a proper way. But a lot of times we don't use common sense. Okay, we don't use common sense, and then we try to assume on our own self whatever, as if we know everything about the life and the world, like the God, and then we only will ended up saying our own self different things. Okay, so now the first foremost error: my English is poor, I can never speak fluently. So this is the most common error. Means rational thinking, a rational thought I see. And what kind of cognitive distortion it is?
Jumping into conclusion.
Mhm. Yeah. There are different ways we can look at it. Okay. There are different cognitive distortions also will come. Okay. This also can be overgeneralization, or jumping into conclusion, or fortune teller. We are first predicting our own future and then telling. Okay. And rational response can be, what can you replace that thought with?
I can learn and
I can
speak
improve
fluently
slowly.
in few more days, few months.
Tell some more others.
I can speak
I am good communicator.
I
Yes.
can become a good
I
communicator.
I am
improve
learning.
myself.
It could be anything. Just I gave my own examples, but you can replace with whatever positivity which fits for that. Okay. I am learning. Fluency improves with practice and consistency. I am doing it. Okay. I am putting my consistent efforts and I am practicing every day. I am learning. So definitely I'm not poor in English, and it's not like I cannot speak in English. I will also speak one day fluently. So next one, everyone will laugh if I speak in English. That's the one thing. And what kind of cognitive distortion it is?
Mag- magnification.
Yes, 10 cognitive distortions are there. If you tell 10, then something is going to touch, right? Or fit.
Overgeneralization comes.
Overgeneralization.
Jumping into conclusion.
Jumping into conclusion.
In the jumping into conclusion only, mind reading, okay? Fortune teller and mind reading. So we are trying to read other people's mind, our audience mind, and thinking that they will laugh. But obviously, they are not. Okay. Most people are busy with themselves only. They are too much concerned about their speaking, actually, in our class or in everywhere, a lot of times. So they may not pay enough attention, or they may not obviously laugh at our English. Some may even appreciate our effort also. Sometimes it happens in our class, right? We try to speak even one sentence, two sentence also, people will appreciate our English. But before we feel like maybe they will laugh at my English like that. So that is a negative thinking, means no fact based or proof based. You assumed and started thinking inside, but reality is different. And rational thinking can be, they are busy with themselves, and some people may appreciate. It's okay, even if they don't appreciate. Also, it's fine. I will try to speak. Okay, others speaks better than me. I'm so not talented. What kind of cognitive distortion it is?
Comparison.
Out of 10, I mentioned. Okay, so mental filtering, like you are just trying to filter only negative things. Okay, and you are trying to focus more on yourself, and you are trying to concern about others. Mostly they are speaking better than me and they are doing something better than you. So then you are trying to stop yourself. And mental filter, nothing but there could be, obviously there could be different distortion you can mention, but mental filter in a way that, suppose you posted one Instagram post and 10 comments are positive and one comment is negative. Then you will ignore 10 comments and you will only focus on that one negative, and then you will think about that only. I think they said negative, 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 like that. And you're too much concerned about that one negative comment and you ignore all the positive things. So that negative is, no, that is called mental filter. Mental filter means you are only filtering negative and taking it to heart and your mind. Okay, so you can mention like there could be, everyone has their own different journey, and I'm progressing at my own pace, and I have my own learning style, and I will take my own time to learn my communication skills. I'm nervous before speaking, so I must be weak. What kind of?
Labeling.
Should statement.
It's about feelings. Okay, I'm
Emotional.
nervous.
Emotional.
Emotional raise.
Emotional reasoning. Okay, so you are giving reasons because of your emotion. I am nervous, it's emotion. Before speaking, I must be weak. So you are just saying to yourself because of you are feeling something, and that you are taking it as real. You are feeling inside something and you are taking it as one emotion came to your mind and you are taking that as a real. But no, feeling nervous is normal. I tell every time. I also feel nervous when I'm speaking in front of you first time, but as I practice, then it become normal. And even a confident speaker also feel nervous. It's true. Every time, if you ask any confident speaker, those who are giving speeches or they're giving presentation, they will tell they also feel nervous, but they accept that nervousness and then they try to overcome that nervousness by speaking. But what you will do, you take that nervousness as real and you think that that's a signal for you to stop. And once you stop, then obviously you will not improve. You will feel low confident. So I'm nervous before speaking, or I'm nervous joining to classes and giving the presentation. So I don't know English. I must be weak, or I'm low confident, like that. No, it's emotional reason. Like in the morning when you wake up and you are feeling little bit not energetic, and then you are giving reasons like I am weak, so I must be sick. I am not feeling energetic, so I must be sick. Better I will sleep extra 2 hours or 3 hours in the morning. So something like that. Because of some emotions, you are giving reasons. So sometimes you feel inside some fear inside. I must be, you are feeling inside that something, negative inside you are feeling. So I'm feeling negative inside. So there must be something wrong is going to happen outside. Something wrong going to happen to my loved one or kids or something like that. But there is no particular proof for it. You yourself giving the reason for your emotion, but there is no fact, there is no proof. You unnecessarily spoiling your mind and spoiling your thinking and mood. So that is emotional reasoning. Okay, I made grammar mistake in public. I embarrassed myself forever because I made my mistake and everybody is going to remember for me forever. What kind of cognitive distortion it is?
Magnification and minimization.
Magnification.
It's magnification. Very good, Monica. So magnification means small thing, you are making it as a very big thing. Okay, magnification. So this is small, like nobody cares also. They might have not even focused that mistake also, but you took it very seriously and you are making it very big. But a lot of people don't even catch that mistake, or some people will forget after that. And one mistake doesn't define me, or one failure doesn't stop me. Something like that you can say it yourself, so that boosts your confidence. Okay, If students don't respond in class, it's my mistake. Okay. If students don't respond in the class, then I must be boring. Okay, then I get angry. But what kind of error it is? Already repeated previously. I mentioned these two errors.
Personal, emotional, mind reading.
Negative filter.
Mind reading or jumping into conclusions. Okay. So obviously, I don't know what is running in your mind. Then how can I, how can I read your mind by thinking that you are not listening? Obviously, I have some skills to identify whether I can do little bit mind reading, but it's not good for me sometimes because I get angry if I try to read your mind and thinking that you are not listening to my class. Then I get immediately angry. And if I'm seeing some people are sleeping now on my screen, and when I look at them, I feel like why they are sleeping like that. I get angry, and then I may burst out on them. So instead, maybe I don't say myself. Obviously, I have very good ability that I don't take the blame on myself. I try to blame on them only that they are not interested in joining the classes, and they why they joined if they are not interested, something like that. But I don't feel like I am boring. My presentation is not interesting. I think I am not speaking. I don't take these things. I try to put the blame on someone, but for small things, not. I take a lot of things as responsibility, but one or two members out of 10 100 members means I don't even care about them. Obviously, they did not have enough sleep night, or maybe they had a big fight in their house, or they don't have electricity yesterday night. Something could be the reason. So they are not listening. But they joined in my class, but still they are not listening to me. I get angry on them. I feel like why they are not interested, why they joined Saturday's class if they are not interested like that. So that could be one thing. Okay. So students may be shy, are distracted, are processing some information in the back of their mind, right? What their mother is cooking for the dinner or something like that could be, or else housewives thinking it's already 8 when sir will stop the presentation. I have to go and prepare my dinner. So something like that. That could be a different, automatic response which you can have for yourself. Okay. And it's a common. I'm already 30, 35, 40. It's too late to improve my communication skills, or it's too late to work on my career. And how many people have this error? How many of you go through this irrational thought? A lot of people. So I am very aged person in this class, and everybody is young in this class. How can I read? How can I improve my communication skills? How can I speak like that? So that is also one irrational thought. And what kind of cognitive distortion it is?
Statements.
Emotional risk.
You are telling about your future. Okay. You are 30 now. Now you are trying to predict your future that you will not get a job. You will not get, what you want in your life. So it's like a fortune teller. Fortune teller means like astrologist. You are an astrologist and predicting your future in a negative way. But we all know, right? Age is not a factor. It's just a number. And if you really decided to achieve something, then you can achieve no matter what is your age present. You can make big things, and you can change your life, and you can change absolutely anything in your life. You can change your physical health, physical appearance, color, money, anything, whatever you want, you can change. Okay. And my friends ignored my message. They hate me.
Mind reader.
Jumping into conclusion.
Mind reading. Maybe they are busy. So I shouldn't assume without evidence. And there is no particular proof and fact. So if you avoid, actually, these kind of irrational thinking will happen mostly in relationships. Okay. And a lot of relationships are failing nowadays because of the misunderstandings, because of our irrational thinking. Without facts and proofs, we assume on our own, and then we think that that must be true. And remember, your thoughts are not true. And there is no evidence that your every thought what you get is true and fact. So your thoughts are just one particular view to look at the things, but that may be true and may not be true. And 90% of the time, we don't see the event as it is, we see as we are or who we are. So that if you can avoid, then you can avoid a lot of disturbances in your life. So you are not disturbed by the events, you are disturbed by the meaning you give it to them. So one simple example I can give it to you. So this is how we are all vary from one to one. And one such thing is One is like, just imagine that you are waiting at the bus stop, okay, for the bus. And you went there at 8 o'clock, and the bus should come at 8:15. And you have to reach your office or college or school by the 9 o'clock. And you went at 8 o'clock, and you are waiting up to 8:15, bus did not come, 8:30 bus did not come, 8:45 bus did not come, and it almost became 9. And what will happen generally, if you look at very carefully, some people will get too much frustrated that they will scold the bus driver, they will scold the bus, they'll scold the government, they'll scold their mother, everybody, whatever, like whoever, they scold their friends. But whereas some people, same situation, but that instead of worrying about when bus will come, because even if they scold or get angry, also nothing will change. What they will do, they will maybe simply put the headphones and they will listen to audiobooks, or they may complete watching activity, or they will do speaking activity, or whatever is possible. Because they cannot do something in that time, and they will try to use that time for something else. Same incident, same event, but one person choose one approach and another person choose another approach. So that is what the meaning of these lines. You are not disturbed by the event. Okay, the bus did not come is one event. You are not disturbed by that event. You are disturbed by the meaning you give, the meaning, the particular, how you perceive that incident, how you process that incident. So you gave the meaning like, I'm going to late for my school, I'm going to late for my office, something like, you are giving that meaning, and you are feeling something bad. But instead, no matter how much you shout and cry, bus will come on its own time. And no matter how much you do, it will not change according to you. Instead, you have to change according to the situation and utilize that situation in a better way, how it is useful for you. And with that, you can change your life in the way you want. So always, your thoughts are not the facts. Thoughts are just merely thoughts. And 90% of your thoughts can be negative or irrational. Your duty as a good observer, observe them and give the label to that particular thought, and then replace that irrational thought with a rational response. With this, 90% of the time, you can change your mood instantaneously. The moment when you change, if you replace that thought, that the moment when you replace that thought, it will immediately trigger positive emotions and positive behavior, and that can completely change what you want. So this technique I use in my day-to-day life, not to get affected by negative people, not to get affected by negative incidents. And that really gives me so much positivity. And that's why you see me mentally strong, physically healthy, because I apply this CBT technique in my life. And that really changed me so much in every area of my life. But if you don't know how to use it, take the different examples which you have in your life and different situations you might go through. It could be interviews, it could be health related, it could be relationship, it could be anything. This technique is applicable, and you can apply this technique, and then you can change the way you live. Because the moment when you correct your thinking, your life will be corrected. Okay, so apply this, and I am going to tell you so many things. This is the in this series, it's the first part one video, and going forward, I am going to address so many mental health issues and similar concept, but I am going to approach in a different way, because this one required a lot of assignment. Okay, by attending to this class will not make you mentally healthy person. What you should do, you should do assignment nothing, but you should always have that triple column, assignment. And every time whenever any thought come to your mind, just write that thought into your notes, and then replace that, identify what distortion it is or what error it is, and then replace that negative thought with a positive thought. Not positive, I would say, but logical thought, something meaningful thought. And with that, you can improve. And how you can improve your observer mind? Like, so many times what happens means, before thinking we will just react. Before thinking we will react means, that means your amygdala is hijacking your prefrontal cortex. Every time your amygdala is hijacking your prefrontal cortex, then what is the best way to give power to your prefrontal cortex and decreasing your amygdala activation? What is that best way to avoid using so much amygdala and giving more power to your prefrontal cortex? What is the one method you can follow?
Meditation.
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 Physical practice.
Already know the answer. Okay. You already know the answer, but when it will useful for you means how it will helpful for you means when you practice it. Without doing meditation, just telling the answer will not make any difference in your life. Okay. As I told every time, so many times, knowing is different and doing is different. And a lot of people know a lot of things, but when they implement them, then they will see the change in their life. So remember, information will not create the transformation. Implementation will create the transformation in your life. And if you implement this knowledge, whatever I shared today, can create a magnificent transformation in your life or massive transformation in your life. And I am the proof of no transformation in front of your eyes. And I changed my life by this particular knowledge, whatever I shared with you, and utilize this and then try to change yourself so that, and not only yourself, like look at somebody, like maybe your kids, your husband, wife, and your friends also do these errors. And now when you're observing them also, like when they are saying something, you can label them. Okay, this person is making cognitive distortion, this cognitive distortion, like that. If you are every time practicing this, then your mind, all the 10 cognitive distortions will be there and you are going to apply them every time. Whenever you see someone, whenever someone said something to you, then immediately like it will happen, right? Every time. Some people will post feedback in the class. Sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't respond. And then you immediately jump into conclusion that sir did not like my feedback. And I think I must have done something wrong in my feedback. That's why he did. But what is the rational response? Maybe Sar is busy in checking other messages and he might have missed his message, my message, something like that. And when I conduct the session in the Monday class, like self-reflection session, and sometimes I give clap symbol, sometimes I use love symbol, sometimes I don't say anything to the people. And people feeling like inside that Sar ignored my, words and Sar ignored me and I think he did not like me and Sar is having partiality, something like that. But I may be thinking something in the background about your answer or something, and I might have forgotten to use the reaction. So that could be like you can use this knowledge every time and then try to implement like this cognitive distortion related. If you have not watched this video, you watch the cognitive distortion video and then try to remember whatever I shared from this particular video so that absolutely it will change your life. Okay. So that's it from my end for today's session.